I need to stand up because, yeah.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy ONG Sleazy, TikTok, IG, Facebook, Yanana Vibes, and right now we are about to do a weekly market breakdown. If you remember last week, we actually updated the weekly market breakdown because all of the setups that we made actually broke those key levels that we were actually taking our entries on. But that didn't actually kill us because we understand when one trend breaks and another one will sure form. You know, when support is broken, resistance is formed. So we understand, we move with the markets, we keep on evolving with the market. We don't just sit there idly buying and waiting, you know. Yes, sharp, we can't predict, but we react to what the market is doing. You get me? But anyways, we're going to be breaking down gold, NASDAQ, US30, and USDJPY. Let's start up with gold over here. No, we're not gonna trade US30. Why am I analyzing US30? But whatever, I'll analyze US30 as well. So if you take a look over here, we have an uptrend forming. We have an uptrend that formed over here with gold over here, and when we check that trend, we have some sort of resistance over here, but actually we actually trade support and resistance a bit differently right now. But it's fine. Let's actually start marking out our key levels. I'll mark out the level over there. I'll mark out the level over there. And we know we are currently in between this level and we're actually wanting to push up. Why do I say we want to push up? Let me actually show you. I see a pattern, but don't worry guys, if you can't see these patterns, with due time, with enough practice, you guys will be able to see these patterns like clockwork. You know, as much as I can see them almost on a naked chart, you get there after a while of just, you know, consistent practice. And the way you can actually fast forward your market experience is by actually going to maybe TradersCasa. I'm gonna put the link in the bio for TradersCasa. Go to TradersCasa and backtest as frequently as possible. When I backtest, I backtest 2 hours a day on average. You get me? So the one thing that I see more consistently in my life is fucking charts. So what I see over here is that, okay, we actually broke over here and we actually played out a breakout bull, breaking the structure here. I'm clicking the wrong button. We broke the structure over here and created a breakout bull entry right there. Cool. So if you check over here from the low to the high, we have a golden zone that the market came to retest. So I'm expecting the market to actually push up and complete the 90% rule over here with this trade. So this is what I'm expecting for gold to do, simply because we are in an overall uptrend. We've had a touch to our bottom, we still need to have a touch to the top. So if we can take entries here and keep holding, we should have somewhat of a touch around here at some point. We don't have any 3 a.m. swing to swings at the moment. I would only have them when I do the market update tomorrow. Cool. Now let's jump into USDJPY. USDJPY, we're going to be trading it as normal. As you can see with USDJPY, last week we actually wanted to buy USDJPY, but then we saw that, oh shit, we actually broke. Once we broke, we took sells over here. We actually reversed and then came back, and what me and my student actually saw is that, oh, we have a third touch entry over there, and we took our entries and push to the downside. But we can now delete all of that and restart with our analysis. So first things first, we need to identify the overall trend, and we already understand that with USDJPY the overall trend has already been broken. So what do we know about that? When one trade is broken, another one shall form, you know. So let me just try and find the most the trend that caters for most touches. I think I like that one. That is not a problem. Let's find a nice support and resistance level so we can find some reversal points. And then if you take a look over here, we actually were trading from a trend, right? We were trading from this trend and we had a third touch over there. And usually after the third touch, the touches are no longer as powerful. But irregardless of such, we know that the market, as soon as we have a break, we should be expecting it to come to 90% rule. So right now we can't really tell in which direction we are going, but we know the probability is that we are going to be looking for sells, but there's also a possibility that we can have a break, retest, and push to the upside. So for as long as we are under this point over here, we're looking for sells and breaking this low. And if we can actually get above and give us a breakout retest, then we are looking for buys and clean. So remember, we are looking for buys on gold, which means most likely we're going to be taking sells on USDJPY. So let's see how it plays out. Let's go and see on NASDAQ now. Is that NASDAQ? No, it's US30. So remember, with US30, we initially wanted to buy over here, but we had a breakout and retest, and we actually did not follow the breakout. But that is because on the overall trend, we actually had another breakout retest on the overall trend, and currently this structure is sort of like a consolidation. We want to see if we can actually break to the upside or to the downside, and then we'll have a direction. But we're going to restart our analysis, get an overall picture of what we're looking at, and start afresh, I can say. And if we do that, we see, okay, oh my days, what the fuck did I select? I was supposed to be selecting this. If you see over there, we have somewhat of an uptrend, right? We have somewhat of an uptrend over there. Okay, so remember, we had somewhat of a break, right? Let me see, we had like this downtrend and we had a break of structure from there. So I just need to actually mark that properly so that we know this is just a consolidation. If we can actually break the channel, we can push down, but if we can break above, we know we are pushing up. So that's why I actually had to go out and remark that. And if you take a look over here, we are currently playing within a zone, if you can say. We have a channel right here, but this said channel, we need to see a break on either direction, and once we get a break, that's where we get our entries. So once we are above this, we can actually take buys on US30 and then actually target these highs over here. So let's see how they play out, let's see how they reject, and then they react, and then let's try in NASDAQ was a clean buy entry. We actually caught a sniper entry, gave us a double bottom, and then we pushed up. So NASDAQ was right, was very nice. But let's see how it plays out from when we restart the analysis. So as we restart the analysis, we realize that NASDAQ and US30 are showing us similar things. They are both showing us a breakout setup. So let's see how they play out. We don't know how they actually, I don't know if they behave similar with like gold. When they break out with gold, we know we don't always push the whole way, we have to reverse at some point. But with NASDAQ, I'm not sure, but we marked out our 3 key levels. Let's jump into the lower time frame, see if we can't get any nice trend that we can trade from. And just around there, we already see that we have somewhat of a trend right there. When one trend is broken, another one forms. It's always like that. When one is broken, another one forms over and over and over and over. That is the way of the market, if I can say. That is the way of the market. Even with support and resistance, one is broken, another one will form. And if you take a look over here with NASDAQ, we actually peaked out and then came right back inside, and we actually had already a touch there. So if we can actually push to this point over here, I'm actually happy to take buys on NASDAQ. Maybe we put stop loss there or there, and then our target maybe the high. Clean. This is my NASDAQ setup, and we already saw the other setups. The other setups, we are looking for specific types of confirmation first before anything. So make sure you guys, like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you are interested in any mentorship signals or anything above, just text the number in my bio. It is the only number in my description. I'm also going to put the link to TradersCasa, and I urge you to backtest a minimum of 2 hours a day. Trust me, it will change your life. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. I am currently partnered with SIEGPATH as a prop firm, so if you are interested, click the link in my bio and let's run it up. Goodbye.